I can come home at night.
And you can that guy.
No, I don't want to do stupid things like dating.
Hey
yo, what's up, guys?
Welcome to
Funconver.
Fun conversation.
With me, Nurul Ilmaknuna, but people usually call me Lulu.
Like it. Not today, not today, not.
I'm Widya Agustina. You can call me Widdy.
What I wanted, you made them assumptions. Clearly not your forte, clearly don't.
And also with me, my Sarah Rizka Salsabila, and just call me Sarah.
I got my head out the sunroof. I'm blasting our favorite tune.
So, in this podcast, we want to talk and share our experience as border. Right, the ups and downs of being a border.
Or is it just beating fed on?
Anyway, how is going, guys?
I'm pretty good.
I'm also good as always. How about you, Zar?
I'm pretty well too. By the way, Widdy is from Kayong, right? What area is that?
Yes, North Kayong to be exact. 21 hours drive to the house using the waterway.
Holy moly, that's far. That's almost a 2-day trip.
Yes, so from the boarding house to the port, it took about 2 hours. Then took about for 12 hours. Then rode a motorbike again for about 2.5 hours. Then still took another 2 hours by boat. Then the last one was by motorbike again for about 30 minutes or 40 minutes. 30 minutes. Yes,
Wow.
30 minutes.
How do you do that? Whereas I, who had only heard it, was very tired of imagining it.
Very tired, but all the tiredness was then replaced by pleasure because I usually will come by my mother, my sibling, and sweet niece.
Yes, you deserve it, Widya. By the way, Sarah is from Bengkayang, right? How long is the trip?
About 3 to hour at most, not as far as Widdy's hometown, and can still be accessed by lane. I usually take a taxi when I get home.
Same. When I go back to Kopasulu, I usually take a taxi. Approximately 12 hours drive. I took a taxi at night, so I could sleep the whole way. Yeah, the whole way. Talking about the ups and downs of a bay border recently, I feel like I am homesick, I really miss home cooking. When I came back from the village, I brought some home cooking, but it was over in a week.
You're the one who ate it yourself.
Me too. As a nomad who is far from family, I was also felt homesick. I really missed the atmosphere of my hometown. Moreover, when I first entered college, I couldn't help but wander away from my family. I once had a fever because I missed my mother. I thought I was sick from being tired or eating the wrong thing. But after I got a call from my mom, I was back in good health.
Yes, the saddest thing about being a border house child is when we sick, far from family, and we can't rely on other people to take care of us. Fortunately, I have friends who can accompany even if they don't stay 24 hours because they have other things to do. At least I have someone I can trust to ask for help.
Being border have to be very independent because we can't always depend on other people.
Right, you have to be smart about managing your feelings too, so as not to be in trouble when it is nearing the end of the month.
Guys, in case my parents cycle, I promise to save my money at the end of the month. However, it's the beginning of the month comes, I crazy about all the things and I buy food. The cycle keeps repeating.
Right? I'm not alone it turns out. Indeed, if we just got a money transfer, we will forget how difficult it is at the end of the month.
Yeah, I feel you. The discourse of saving is only the end of the month.
But luckily, even though I don't have any money anymore, I still food supplies. Once the time I really ran out of side dishes of vegetables. There are only shallots, garlic, and chilies. I made fried rice with the ingredients that were there. That was the time I couldn't manage my finance. I don't want to do it again.
Oh yeah? I once only ate rice with salt when all my food supplies ran out.
What? That's terrible.
Really? Sometimes at most I'm stuck eating salted fish or eating at a relative's or a friend's boarding house.
Oh, you have a relative here too.
Very many, and thankfully they are always open to me. That's the point of keeping in silaturahmi.
Yes, I agree with that.
Speaking of lodging during this time, I've never been homesick. I feel free here and I feel more crowded here. The first time I went to the boarding house, I felt like normal, like changing room because the house was used to being quiet and I'm alone at home. My brother is still college. My dad is busy at work and my mother has passed away since I was in third grade of junior high school.
Sorry to hear that, sir.
Sorry, sir.
To be honest, I also feel more fear here because my parents have strict rules. When I first went to boarding house, I feel free from the restraints of my parents. Here, I feel free because I can come home at night.
And you can get gas.
No, I don't want to do stupid things like dating.
Yes, your parent will rent 24/7.
Okay, by the way, when I first started college, I still lived at a relative's place, but also starting to adapt to the place and the streets. I chose to stay in a boarding house for one reason or another. I also decided to move to a boarding house.
So, the joy being a boarder really start with ourselves, how to position it if we are happy with what we are doing.
It means that we can position ourselves properly.
Yes, it's more free if you're in a boarding house, right, Lydia?
That's also one of the reasons.
Anyway, can you go to boarding house to play?
Of course, I will be very happy if my boarding house is lively. Anyway, see you in the next podcast.
If any.